Welcome back to Channel Everything Absolutely Fine. So, this has to be one of the best episodes ever where we are just worried about Rue that what is exactly going to happen to her. So, before I start the actual breakdown, I'll just give a kind of a spoiler free review where Rue kind of is in a place where she should not be, and the fear that we were having since the day she kind of relapsed and taking that medicines on her own, which she was not supposed to, and then the entire fiasco which kind of happens. This entire episode, इस पूरे एपिसोड में probably आप खाली रू के बारे में वरी करते रहोगे या फिर because she goes through a lot of things in this episode which she doesn't has to, the things which she was trying to escape from, but you just can't watch this episode without worrying about Rue or without worrying about what exactly could happen to her, because the entire episode it goes in such a way that it just build up. It's not even a build up, but it is a position where you are on your toes, just kind of wanting her to be safe at a right place where she should be, and it is super emotional. And and now we can just start with the actual breakdown of the episode. Well, so the episode starts in such a way that we just get to see the background story of what was kind of happening, and not even we see get to see what happens in the previous episode because we already know about it. So Rue's mom is already being told about, and she knows what she does, and she kind of freaks out about it. She creates an entire scene where she shouldn't do a lot of things, and then she just searches that entire home for the suitcase where it has been, and her mom, she has a huge fight with her mom. वहाँ पे उसको बहुत गलत चीज़ें वो बोल देती है अपनी mom को, and at the end she just kind of tells her that what was the thing, where exactly those pills are or where exactly that suitcase is, and वो उसको बस खाली बता देती है कि वो जो suitcase जो थी, they have kind of just flushed it out of uh, the in the bathroom, and there she kind of literally loses it because she knows what it was for. It was for just for selling. She was not eventually going to take them, but she was kind of taking them, and she goes in a very dark place, and at the same time she just also tries to say sorry to them, but at the same time she kind of also knows the reason why they have kind of known about it, and that was because of Jules and Elliot, because they kind of ran on her and they tell her mom, and उसके बाद उसका और ज़्यादा दिमाग घूम जाता है because she is mad at both of them for telling her mom about she not being clean or she doing it, and she kind of literally loses it, and she breaks up with Jules again, but she gives a lot of shit to her. She tells her उसको बहुत ज़्यादा बुरा भला बुरा कहती है, and like Jules was just trying to help her to by directly telling her mom she was just trying to do the right thing, but she's so upset. She does so bad things. She is literally losing out over there, and they just kind of discuss that it was good the way the things were before, and then she's just sorry about it and what could be done. Her mom kind of tells her that she could go to the ER and she could try to fix him up with the doctor, but she kind of realizes that while she was going to travel to the ER, her mom kind of lies, and she was going to take her to rehab, and there again she loses it, and she just um, escapes out of that car and she just starts running, and this is literally since when we literally start worrying for her life what exactly is going to happen with her. She just runs to different places where she shouldn't be, and this is kind of how the episode starts. The first stop which obviously she goes is to Fesco, but he's not there probably. Then the next stop is Lexi because she's her childhood best friend, and at that place they get to meet everyone like her mom, there is Cassie, there is even other people over there, and she just is not clean. So obviously her mom is knowing about how people are because her father was kind of that, and like Lexi's mom, and then she just calls Rue's mom, and they both are there. They try to make a scene, but obviously, when she is going down, she will take everyone down with her. So she just tells about what exactly was happening with her, and she just tells her truth, like Cassie was doing with Nate. She's been. Oh, by the way, Nate is not there in the entire episode. I just realized that now. So she just tells and goes and runs on her, and she is freaking out about the truth, what was been happening, and she even tells us they've been doing it from New Year's, and there even she loses it, and both of them start fighting, and in that entire fiasco, which kind of happens, Rue escapes, and she just runs, and again she has to go back to Fess, and fortunately he is there at home. So, but he was not of that great use because he was just trying to help her, and she just uses his washroom and then just tries to gets even something out of his closet. But when he finds out, he just kind of throws him out of his house, which was again probably a mistake which he would definitely regret in future. And then she just keeps on running until she's kind of been like, sort of at a place where she just goes into some house, and she just steals a lot of things from there, because she knows that if she doesn't have like if she doesn't have those money, those like drugs now, how is she going to sell and pay back to that lady? So she just goes there, she steals lots and lots of stuff, and before she like, but the owners eventually return back, and she fortunately tries to escape that as well. And then her mom is still searching, but we get to see that the cops are kind of have found her, and they just try to ask her what's happening. But obviously, if she goes in front of them, they would definitely know that she's high, and she just runs and runs, and we get to see that amazing action sequence where she just fortunately somehow escaping every bit of situation where she was into, even the run into police, and he just tries to cross the street where there are a bunch of cars. We are literally on toes by this moment. What would happen to her? Would she would a car hit her? What would exactly happen? She even crashes a party, and finally she reaches here, which was technically the last place she was supposed to be. And she just goes and tells her that what things were happening, and the jewelry which she stole and the cash which she stole, she kind of just gives her. But eventually she says that she couldn't pay in jewelry, she has to pay in cash. But she's even noticed that he's not in a place where she could return that cash to her. So she just does something which we would never expect. She just tells her that being a woman, you couldn't do some more things in a way that you could definitely pay back, and that is technically where, and that is technically some at some point where even we try worrying about her, because we know she is kind of a maniac and she could do a lot of things. And at that time, she just kind of takes her to a bath and gives her this drug, which kind of, I'm not sure what exactly it is, but that's definitely not a good thing. And once she kind of wakes up, I don't even want to see this. She just, and when she is she gives her that injection. She kind of remembers her father and how her father used to bathe her, all the small things which when even he died, in her eulogy, what things she kind of said about him, and about his sister, about her sister, and how they were in the beginning. She's kind of tells and remembers that her dad is going to be there forever, because relationships and memories are meant to exist beyond the lens of time, is something which her dad was said, and which is kind of a very good thing to remember and a good quote to remember. And then she just kind of wakes up after that, where knows that she is in a kind of a jail, because her house is technically a jail. All the locks are there at every particular door, and finally she goes at a place where she kind of discovers that that parrot is also kind of watching on her, and she finally finds out the place where that lady is sleeping with one of those guys, and she finally makes out from that place, and she escapes. And we are about to see that whether she would escape or not, but finally she escapes that place, and she just runs out on her. And at the end, we just get to see her mom and a door opening, and her mom is just kind of worried if she's Rue, but we are not sure. She could be Rue or she could not be Rue. So that is it for the entire episode. All right, so this was it for the overall episode 5 of season 2 of Rue and Euphoria and the things he's going through. It was super, super, super traumatic episode where we are just constantly worrying about what would happen to Rue and how she would escape and whether she is safe finally, because now she has to deal with her mom, she has to deal with her friends, she has to deal with Fesco, she has to deal with that lady, and finally she has to even deal with the police because they were kind of after her, even though they don't kind of not know who exactly she is, but there are a lot of problems for the next episode. So definitely we need to stay tuned and see what happens next. So do let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below, and do let me know what you think now the story would kind of flow into and what your thoughts are about all in all about the whole episode. And thank you so much if you're still watching until here. Please subscribe to my channel to support me, and we'll meet you in the next video.